School of Rock.
But can you just give a shout out to a guy who just got hit with a bullet and then put his hand up in the air and said, fight, fight, fight. And he put himself out there. He was not totally surrounded. He was surrounded by Secret Service, which, by the way, they should get some credit for putting their life on the line, and they were literally willing to take a bullet for him, right? But he poked his head out, and he put his arm out. And that was courageous. It was courage under fire. And I've called Trump a coward 1,000 times. But he wasn't that night or that day. He was strong and he was brave. And anybody can see that. That's the problem with the Democrats. We have eyes and ears, and they keep trying to gaslight us because they think they control all of mainstream media. And so they can gaslight you no matter what, because mainstream media will just lie to you and pretend that we live in an alternate reality, right? So Biden is not old, and Trump putting his hand up was not brave. No, that's ridiculous. Biden is old, and that moment for Trump was great. It was courageous, and when the crowd started chanting USA, USA, it made me a little proud.
Yes, breaking news, Jack Black and Tenacious D cancelled the rest of their shows, and the Australian senator calls for them to be deported. Black said he was blindsided by the comment made.
But can y'all imagine what today or yesterday would have been like if that bullet would have hit? If Trump would not have turned his head? You could call my mother a conspiracy theorist. She has been studying our government for years now. And I mean not doing quick Google searches. I mean this woman has dedicated a lot of her time to figuring out who is really running this place we're living. The past 6 years I've been like, nah mom, that's crazy. Like some of the stuff I'm like, no. Like there's no way that's real. We totally went to the moon. 9/11 was totally real. I can honestly say from someone that talks about what is going on in this country every single day, the past 6 months, the stars are all aligning, the dots are all connected. We have been lied to by these people that we have quote unquote been worshiping as our leaders. If you think they're good guys, they're probably not. Is it not absolutely crazy that we are getting to live this time? This is biblical stuff that we are getting to live through right now. And it's like, we were all born in this time for a reason. I've never really gotten on here and talked about much political stuff on my page because I just don't. But everyone just needs to realize that nothing is what it appears to be. Nothing. Literally nothing. In the end, it's all in God's hands, and all we can do is just trust the plan and help wake people up to what is going on. Trump getting shot at yesterday was not something that some 20-year-old kid just decided to do. And literally every single sign is pointing that this was all set up. Not staged, but set up. They knew he was going to shoot it up, and he was not supposed to miss. Why were there 10 seconds after the first shot went off? Why were there 10 seconds for him to get 8 rounds off? Especially with all these videos of these people screaming and yelling, there's a man on the roof, run! And there wasn't anything done. There should have been a quick call, like boom, guy on the roof.
Yes, before we go into that later, the Australian senators are sending out about Jack Black. This is what he said. I was blindsided by what was said at the show on Sunday. I will never condone hate speech or encourage political violence in any form. After much reflection, I no longer feel it is appropriate to continue the Tenacious D tour, and all future creative plans are on hold. I'm grateful to the fans for their support and understanding. That is what he sent out. Now going to what the senators are saying, it is actually concerning. He put this video, he never thought of the repercussions that will follow suit, and I'm glad he is getting cancer after that.
I know I'll get hate for it, but you know what? Trump 2024.
Yes, this same guy you just saw here, watch a former star Jack Black appear at a Biden fundraiser because democracy is at stake. Look at what he said here. When I take a look at this man, I'm short of words. Continue.
Don't miss Trump next time.
He said it clearly. This is not the first guy. There is this lady in Hollywood. She actually posted up a video and told everything was staged. When I look at these people, they disgust me.
I just found out about this shit. It just happened. I haven't even had a second to process. You're telling me somebody finally had the balls a pew pew. And he missed! We were a second away! We were a centimeter away from half of the problem being gone, and you missed! There was a white man attached to that trigger. I know it! We were a centimeter away! Ah!
Also, George, we have to point out, no matter who the shooter, what the shooter's motives were, no matter who the shooter is, you are going to hear conspiracy theories going forward.
No question about that. But as you point out, those statements from J.D. Vance and Vivek Ramaswamy, of course, President Trump and his supporters have contributed violent rhetoric as well.
Well, absolutely, George. We were just looking back this morning at some of the things that former President Trump has said. He warned last March of destruction if he were charged by the Manhattan District Attorney. Our country is being destroyed as they tell us to be peaceful. Trump in January warned of bedlam in the country if the criminal charges against him succeeded. And of course, in March, he said, now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be for the country. That will be the least of it. He said he was partly joking and that was taken out of context. But those are indeed his words. And you have heard it from supporters as well. And supporters are certainly in some parts angry. And let's remember January 6th. In so many ways for the campaign, January 6th will probably be in the background after yesterday's event. This is a very difficult time for this campaign.
Yes, this lady should resign. She's old. Spewing this nonsense sometimes get me irritated. Now going into what this senator sent out in Australia, there is no place in Australia for those who wish for the assassination of others. Tenacious D should be immediately removed from the country after wishing for the assassination of Trump. At the Sydney concert, Senator Raff said to the Tenacious D member killed, making a birthday wish to concert goers that he hoped the next person should shoot at Trump did not miss. I condemn in the strongest possible ways the call to political vow by Tenacious D in Sydney on Sunday, the United Australian Party senator said. This was not a joke. He was totally serious when he wished for of the president. I call on the Prime Minister Anthony to join me in denouncing Tenacious D, Jack Black, and band member Hell, and I call on the Immigration Minister to revoke their visas and deport them immediately. Anything less than deportation is an
School of Rock, the original motion picture soundtrack.
You know, that's for after President Trump wins. That's the real goal is
the law school. He's going to be in there making a whole bunch of.
I thought she was fantastic for years. Or less comfortable with a possible.
So a lot of people asking.
We, as Trump started.
And finally, new rules.
If you looked at the moment that you heard that